All right, hello class and welcome to August the 26th of 2021. These are your plans for today. So again, if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to send me an email if you have questions about your ecosystem or anything like that. I promise you I will help you with that. So one thing we said was you're going to have to start thinking about what you're going to be putting into your system. Before I get on that, just make sure that you've turned these things into Google Classroom. Looks like Ms. Thibodeau has already started grading things, so that's great. So it's been brought to my attention that some of you had some questions about the ecosystem. So your container, you need to bring that on Friday so that the sub can mark off who has bought a container. You will start building your containers out, like your ecosystems out on Monday when Ms. Thibodeau returns. So let me give you all some ideas. Some of you we're thinking like, hey, I'm going to put a lizard in my jar. Okay, you can do that. But keep in mind, you have to have the things in that ecosystem to support that lizard, such as food, plants. So if lizards eat bugs, you have to put bugs inside of that ecosystem before you close it to make sure that it's able to support and sustain life. Now, you cannot just put a lizard in a jar without plants, without a water source, without a food source, food supply for it. So again, that is the whole purpose of your research, okay? So I'm going to include a video on here of a closed ecosystem project that you all can look at to get some ideas. Again, if you do an aquatic one, you cannot just put a fish in a closed system with water and some rocks. You're going to have a plant, a producer of oxygen in there. And that's what you should have been researching now. I've heard that you all have finished that part. So at this point, we can go ahead and we can move on. So I'm trying to get to it. I want to show you on a lab report where you need to be. So let me just get it to open up here, because this is where you're going to really put that thought into your projects to make sure that you're doing what you need to do in order to sustain life. Because remember, the driving question is, if humans were to leave Earth, how will we sustain life on another planet? So you're basically pretending that you're taking your organism from Earth and putting it on another planet. If I were to take you and put you on another planet, would you want me to just drop you on a planet, seal you off with nothing? So you can't do that to your organism. That would be wrong. That would be like killing it. So my understanding is you all have completed your research. You've decided if you're going to do terrestrial, which is land-based, or aquatic. Okay, you have constructed your hypothesis. Now at this point, begin to brainstorm what you're going to put in. What is going to be a hydrosphere? What's going to be the water source? All living things need water. I don't even care if you're a mosquito. You need water. Okay? Biosphere, that's your living. What are you going to put in there that's going to help create your atmosphere? Like on Earth, we have plants. You're going to need plants to produce oxygen. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And I'm not talking about go randomly grab a plant. You have to have the plant with the roots, because if you remove the roots, it's no longer living. If it's no longer living, it can't produce the oxygen. Okay, so you need to make sure that whatever plants you put in there, they have the roots and they're growing. They need to be growing and thriving. So you can start now. If you want, some students I've had have created their systems from grass seeds. So they started growing their own grass seeds in their systems. And if that's what you want to do, you can start doing that now. Grass seeds are fairly cheap and you can get what you need. Your geosphere, that's going to be your earthy part. Even if you do an aquatic one, if you think about oceans, there is dirt in there. So you can have your dirt, your soil, your rocks, whatever. Like I said, you just need to look that up. So you're putting that there. And now here we want to see pictures. What are you actually putting in there? It's really easy to add a picture. All you have to do is go insert, image, search the web, and you can get pictures and it'll drop it into your document. We want you today to list the materials. What all are you going to be putting in there? You should have like rocks, some kind of plant, whatever. Put that down here. So you'll list all of your materials and then begin writing out your procedure. So how are you going to build this thing out? Step by step. Step 1 might be purchase container. Step 2, open container. Step 3, place fill container midway with dirt. I don't know. Like, your procedures need to be like actual procedures. You've done many labs before. If you forgot how procedures look, Google how to write procedures for a lab. Your procedure should be so detailed that if I wanted to replicate your experiment, I should be able to do it off of your steps. So this is a process where you go step by step. And some of this you may need to do as you go. As you go, oh, this is the next step I did. This is the next step. But we want you to start thinking about that here. And then you'll start your experimentation on Monday when Ms. Thibodeau comes. But you have enough time right now to work on these pages. So please make sure that you take care of that. All right. So that was that about the ecosystem. So again, if you have any questions, make sure you can email me and I will answer you. All right. So yesterday you may not have gotten to this. Driving question number 2. So we're trying to answer number 1, but right now we got to put that one on a back burner and let it simmer because we're going to be gathering evidence over the next week. When you start on Monday, you'll be going out there every day looking at your system. So we have to keep moving. So how does the loss of glaciers cause the increase in ocean temperatures and affect the sea lions? That's going to be our next investigation because remember, we're still trying to answer our anchor question, which is what are the factors causing sea levels to rise? So we have to continue to try to answer that question. So here's our next investigation to help us answer that. Click on this picture. It will pull up an article. Read the article, pick out the key points. You may bullet the key points, try to connect this article back to the anchor. I said that. This one right here is our engage, which is introducing the overall big idea for our unit. Once you click on this picture, there are some questions there. There's an article and a video attached. You can go ahead and watch that. If you finish early, you need to start defining these 6 words for your vocabulary. And if you still have time and you need something else to do, we have the Unit 1 Cycle 3 Engage Algal Blooms. Actually, no, you all are doing, it should say Unit 1 Cycle 3 Explore. That's what this is. It's a whole nother document. So if you open up this document, it's going to probably make me make a copy. It's coming. So you open up this document, you go through. So yes, Unit 1 Cycle 3 Explore, which I'm going to fix that. So by the time you get to this copy, it's going to say the correct thing. But you will go through, answer this question. There's a video for you to watch on albedo. And then for the questions down here, you have to click on this link. And then as you go through it, you're going to be referring back to the document to answer the questions. I believe, yes, I have it open already here. So when you open it up, it's going to look like this whenever it pops up. And you would click on like ice albedo effect, suits effect, so you will watch those videos and you would do the assignment from there. All right, so that's pretty much it. So here is a list of what you need to work on for today. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, email Ms. Thibodeau, ask Mr. Zush, whatever works for you, is whatever floats your boat, as long as it doesn't sink, works for me. So again, in closing, if y'all remember nothing else, for your closed ecosystem, if you want to sustain and support life, you need to have water and you need to have plants. You all have to have 3 organisms inside of your system, at least 3. Now, ones that you cannot absolutely have, obviously, are snakes, mice. And you don't want to put anything in there that once you open that up, it could be venomous or anything like that. But everything else you can pretty much do. Fish, snails, lizards, bugs, whatever. Okay, so just make sure you do your research. Make sure you know the things that they need to eat. And if you research what they need to eat, make sure it's inside of that jar, because once we close them, you cannot open them back up and say, oh, they need to eat. No, everything that they need needs to be in there. So again, if you need bugs, mosquitoes, you got to go and catch those and put them in your container or buy. But you can catch them out in nature if you need to. So I just want to make sure that y'all understand that, because I know that some people's like, oh, I'm just going to put a lizard in a jar. And then do what? Hope he survives? No. Okay. So you have to give all the tools that your organism needs to survive. You put a fish in there, you need to make sure that you have food in there for that fish. Whether you get like a feeder that automatically feeds, You can find plants that fish will eat. You can put other things in there. So sometimes in the aquatic system, I've had students who have done a fish, a snail, a ghost shrimp. Um, it's been multiple things that people have done. I've had people do like little baby frogs in a jar. Just it's the sky is the limit as far except for snakes and mice, but and other huge vertebrates. But outside of that, you should be good. All right, so happy learning. This is what you're doing for today, and then I'm also going to insert a video. So I will put the video here right on this page so that you all can watch a video on a closed ecosystem to help you. All right, so happy learning and bye-bye, everybody. Let's see if I can get out of this screen. Here we go. All right.